So when it comes to starting a spiritual based business and becoming financially free, you want to go for something that you kind of do automatically. The first step is to do something that you kind of do automatically. Basically, the first step is to find your purpose. A purpose is something that you naturally do, where it's not effort, and you don't even know it's like a skill set or something that you're good at. For example, for me, when I was younger, people used to always come to me for advice, all right, about relationships, about life, and all of this stuff. And so this is why I do what I do now, because it's my purpose. I feel like it's something that I automatically do, and people always say that I give good advice, all right. And so for you, it might be that you're very healing, like you're just naturally healing, and when you're around people, you just make people feel comfortable and like you're healing them and you raise their vibration naturally. That might mean that you're a healer, all right? And so a lot of people will be healers, but they'll find themselves in roles as a doctor or a nurse or something like this, okay? Because they're doing something that kind of aligns with that. Or you may find them doing healing in the sense of aromatherapy or massage or things of this nature, okay? And so the key thing here is to find out what your purpose is. And I'm gonna create a video on how to connect to your higher self and find out what your purpose is and find out pretty much any question you want about anything that is spiritual. And so that video will be released after this video. It'll probably be something along the lines of how to connect to my higher self. So you can search that on my channel if you go and look for that. Or alternatively, I might link it up in this video in the description. All right. So check the description for that. Okay. So a lot of people find it hard to find their purpose, and that's because they think it's out there, like it's some big thing out there in the world that you have to find and seek. And purpose is actually different from passion. So we're going to be talking about passion next. But usually your purpose is something that's a few words or sometimes even one word, like a teacher or a healer or someone who is good at mediating or counseling, or someone who is good at gathering people together, or your purpose is to help people connect and things like this, okay? And so you want to simply not overcomplicate it and realize what you're already good at and what you naturally do, and you don't see it as a big deal. Like, this isn't a big deal to me. Like, why would someone even want this? It's kind of weird and backwards like that. It's right under your nose, and it's something that you think doesn't really mean anything, all right? And so once you know what your purpose is, the second step is to find your passion. And your passion is different from your purpose. Your passion is the way in which you use your purpose. Okay, this is where we're getting into something that's more meaningful. And so prior to doing this business that I'm doing now, which is a spiritual based business, I was doing marketing and teaching people how to run a business online. And I helped people become really successful at that. And, I had people go on to make 6 and 7 figures in their businesses. I transformed a lot of people's lives through teaching people business. All right. But then I moved to something that's more heart based, something that's more passionate. All right. And so I'm passionate about personal development, self-growth, spirituality, metaphysics, and just becoming an all-round greater version of yourself. And so that's what I do now, and that's what I teach. So before I was teaching marketing and business. Now I'm teaching spirituality, law of attraction, manifesting, growth, and things like this. One of the quotes that I learned from Tony Robbins is success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. So you want to do something that you're passionate about, right? Something that is really meaningful to you, because that's what's going to keep you going over the long run. So once you found your purpose, you found your passion, and you've got that together, you want to find out what your one thing is. Okay, what is your one thing? There's actually a book called The One Thing or One Thing. I think it's by Gary Keller or something like this. So this book teaches you to focus on 1 or 2 things in order to get where you want to be. Because usually people overcomplicate things when it comes to running a business. And, being someone who's more spiritual based and someone who's more heart based, you probably don't want a business that's totally crazy. You can have a performance-based business, or you can have a lifestyle business. And every time I speak to people who are more spiritually inclined, usually they want to have a lifestyle business. A performance-based business is where you want to take it to beyond like 5 million, 3 million and beyond, like, per year. Okay. And that's where, you got a big team, it's about the numbers, about the stats, and you got to track pretty much everything. Otherwise your business will implode, right? You need to cultivate and foster a culture within your company and things like this. Okay. And, it just gets, heavy, right? And I find that a lot of spiritual people don't want to do that. They kind of want to keep it very small. Maybe it's just them by themselves, or they got a few people working under them, an assistant, a video editor, or something like this, right? That, helps them out with what they do. All right. And it's more of a lifestyle where you get to travel, you get to do what you want, and you can get loads of time off. Whereas a performance-based business, you're going to be working all of the time, all right, 24/7, and you won't see, family as much. You won't see friends as much, right? You're focused on your work and things like this. Okay. So, going back to my point, the one or two things that will make a business successful is usually things that, you can do consistently over a long period of time. For example, in my business, pretty much my number one focus is to make a video. Okay. So I make 2 to 3 videos per week. And that's all. Once I've done that, I've done my highest priority task in the business. All right. And so everything else is kind of outsourced. At this time, I've had video editors in the past, but as of right now, I edit my own videos. So I like doing that as well. In the past, I've had video editors, virtual assistants, and right now I'm working with my business partner, Jaden, who handles the money side of the business, which is the side I don't really want to deal with or focus on, right? It drains me of energy. You want to do things in your business that gives you energy, right? That you're passionate about, right? In the beginning, you're going to have to do things that you don't like. But obviously, if you have the money to outsource it, you can outsource it. But in the beginning, you're going to be doing things that you don't like. And that's just the way it is, okay? You got to start from the bottom and work your way up. Overall, you want to get to the point where you're doing the things that you're passionate about in your business and that you really enjoy doing. And so for me, it's making video. All right. And so my main task, to do like a few times a week, is to make video, and then everything after that is kind of like miscellaneous and not as important as making a video. The second thing that I would do is take care of my customers, do my live calls, do my one-on-one coaching calls and things like this. Okay. And so for just making video alone, my one thing, it will grow my YouTube channel. It will help more people, right? It builds influence. It will lead to me getting sponsorships and people wanting to invite me to certain places and doing interviews and things of this nature. All right. And it's already happening now, as this channel's at 9,000 subscribers as I make this video right now. But I know through my previous channel, I don't know if you can see the YouTube award right back there. I had 230,000 subscribers on my channel, and I got invited to retreats, free holidays and trips and all of this kind of stuff. Okay. And so, for doing that, like, it leads to things like that. It leads to more money as well, more AdSense revenue, more people investing into my course and my programs, into my one-on-one coaching, building an audience and focusing on making video. That's what it leads to over time. So eventually I'll be at 100,000 subscribers, 200,000 subscribers, and the more I grow my audience, the more influence I have. And that leads to me making more money, helping more people, becoming more financially free, but also transforming people's lives. All right. And so it's just one thing that I have to focus on. That's the main thing that I have to focus on growing and building and doing consistently to grow the business, to build the business. And so in your business, you need to figure out what that is for you. For example, on Jaden's side, just to let you know, on Jaden's side, the one thing that he has to focus on as of right now is to pick up the phone and speak to potential clients, potential customers, right? Pick up the phone, speak to potential customers, pick up the phone, speak to potential customers. That's pretty much all he has to focus on. And that will generate revenue for the business and also helping people get the results that they want out of their lives. Number 4 here is create an offer people want and drive traffic. Okay, so you need to know what people want to actually buy. Okay, You need to create an offer that people actually want to buy. Okay. A lot of people make the mistake of assuming or guessing what people may want to buy, and they don't make any sales, they're not making any income and things like this. So at this point, it's so important to do your research and see what's already selling well in the marketplace. All right, what's the top selling products, or the top selling, if you're gonna like write a book, what's the top selling book in your niche, right? Or in your niche, right? What's the top selling book? What is it about? What are the subject, the contents, right? What are the chapters, right? And what are they talking about? All right. And so you can get an idea like that, or you can look at the most viral videos in your niche, for example, or you can go to the top blogs, right? The top blogs in your niche, right? And kind of see the type of content that's out there. And you can go to all these websites, you can go to all these vendors and video creators, and you can check out what products they're selling, all right? And sometimes you'll see on their website that they have this like pop-up that comes up, says, Jane bought this product 20 minutes ago, and you'll see the sales just constantly coming in, and then that tells you that I don't know why I put the quotations, but that tells you that this product's probably selling very, very well. Okay, and so you need to identify who your audience is, like who do you want to help. What are they thinking every day? Like what problems do they have in their lives, and how can you create a solution for their problem? Because that's what marketing is. A lot of people in spiritual, like, you don't like the word marketing, probably don't like the word business as well. But sales and marketing and business is a part of growing a business. And when it comes to creating a video, for example, you need to know what people's problems are. This video, right, what you're watching right now, is answering a problem, right? Your problem is, I need to learn how to start an online business and become financially free, and I'm giving you the solution to that problem. And that's all a product is, or a service is, that you're offering is. It's a problem that someone has, and you need to provide a solution to that problem. That's what makes people buy. People buy based on pain and pleasure as well, but mostly from pain. And so they're experiencing some kind of pain. They want to become financially free because they grew up poor, or they grew up struggling, or they want to. For me, for example, like, I wanted to allow my mum to never have to worry about working again. When I first started my business, that was my mindset. I don't want my mum to ever work again. And so everyone has a different psychology on why they do what they want to do. Some people, it's because they want the money, so they never have to worry about money, and they just want to be free. They want to work a 9-to-5 job. They hate their job, or whatever it is. And so when you know this, you can make videos, or you can create products around what people want. And it's different in every market or every niche. And it's about you identifying what people's needs are, what people's wants are, how they think, what's the first thing they're thinking about in the morning, what kind of job do they have. And once you identify this stuff, you can really speak the audience's language. Do you know what I mean? You can speak their language, and then that builds connection. Once you build connection, you build trust. When you build trust, people are more likely to buy what you are selling. Number 5 here is to set up your company. Now, this is going to be different in different countries. For example, in the UK, we have LTD, which is a limited company. In the US, I think you have LLC, right? And so, with this part, you want to do your research on what you need to do. You can speak to an accountant about this, and don't overwhelm yourself with taxes and worrying about what company should I start or whatever it is. It really is one of those things in the beginning where I found it very, very overwhelming, doing taxes and all of this stuff. But what I ended up doing is I found an accountant that would sort out everything for me and just pay them to do it. Because it's not an area I want to focus on. It's not an area where I want to study and learn about or anything like that. I know a little bit about it, enough to know what's going on, but overall, I kind of tend to steer away from things that are draining me of energy, okay, and making me feel overwhelmed. All right, and so you want to find an accountant or someone that you can work with, that you can build a relationship with, and they're very, very good at what they do. All right. But when it comes to setting up a company, again, don't overwhelm yourself with all the moving parts and the logistics of it. It's really, really simple to do. Once you set it up, it's set up. In the UK, you can make up to, I think it's £9,000 without declaring your taxes, without creating a company or anything like this. Okay. But again, do your research on that. As of this video I'm recording right now, that's what I know, but maybe it will change in the future. All right. And so do your research. Number 6 here is to make your first sale. Okay. I find when I'm working with people, when I've worked with people in the past, is that they've never made a sale before, but they've got these big goals for $10,000 per month, $100,000 per month. I want to transform, my life and, make a bunch of money really quickly. And, I just change their mindset and say, hey, just go out and make $1. Go out and make $10. Go out and make $1. Do something, go sell something for a really low price so you can actually make your first sale. So you can prove to your subconscious mind, hey, this works. And then make another sale, and then make another sale. And then once those sales start coming in consistently, guess what? You can raise the prices over time. Okay, and so it depends on what kind of business you have. If you have a digital business, then you can charge really low for what you offer. If you've got an actual product, physical product, you might not be able to do this. All right, so I understand in certain circumstances you can't sell it for a lower price, but if you can, I suggest that you do, so you can start generating some income. Once you start generating some income and you can see that it works, you realize now that this can actually work for you, and then you want to go from there and grow it and expand it. You want to keep it very simplified in the beginning of your business. For example, if you're selling clothes, you don't want to have 10 different lines, because in 10 different lines, you're dealing with small, medium, large, extra large, or like you're dealing with all these different sizes, and it gets overcomplicated. If you're just selling a few products, 1, 2, or 3 products, it makes it a lot easier. And that's the thing I see a lot of people, especially in the spiritual community, they're very creative and they got all these ideas and all these things they want to do. And then they overwhelm themselves with all these ideas and the things that they want to do. And they want to, they want to get it going. They want to get it started and they want to sell all this stuff. And, there's lack of, focus and, simplification. It's like I said, about me making, all I need to do is focus on video. It's very simple. And when there's all these different moving parts, what does that create? It creates stress. It creates anxiety. It creates paralysis by analysis, which basically means you're overanalyzing things and it's making you paralyzed. All right. And you're trying to do all these different moving parts. All right. And so you want to simplify and then grow the business over time. So for example, start with 1 or 2 products. Start with 1 product, for example. Start selling that. Start building that skyscraper. You may have heard me use this analogy before. If you try to build 3 skyscrapers at the same time, right? What's more likely to happen if you build 1 skyscraper at a time? If you focus on 1 skyscraper and you build it, right, you're going to finish that 1 skyscraper. Whereas if you're building 3, you'll have 3 like at probably a similar level, right? And none of them will be finished, right? And so you want to focus on building something, finishing it. And once you've finished it, you've completed it, then, you can move to the next one and then build a second skyscraper and move to the next one, build a second skyscraper. And what will start to happen is it will start to snowball where you're starting to build multiple skyscrapers because you have a team now, you have a support system to help you grow and expand that business. But too many people, they're trying to build all these different things. A great example that I see is, someone's doing Instagram, they're doing Snapchat, they're doing, YouTube, they're doing Twitter, they're doing all these different things. And there's so many different moving parts that you're not really seeing growth in, one of the areas. I can tell you Instagram alone is a beast, right? YouTube alone is a beast. Like Facebook alone is a beast. Like you need to understand that these are complicated algorithms and it takes time to master them. All right. And so YouTube alone, if you become really good at that, it leads to you growing, blowing up. And then that following that you have from YouTube now flows over to Instagram or Snapchat or wherever you want to promote. All right. And so, this is the key. This is the key that a lot of people don't understand, is that they're trying to build like all these different things, and then they're all over the place. They have to do all this stuff. You see, for me, all I got to do is focus on YouTube. All I got to do is focus. I have an Instagram with like 27,000 followers, but I don't even go in there. I don't even promote on there. I don't even do anything on there as of right now, because my passion's on YouTube. My passion's making video. I don't want to focus on growing that right now. And to be honest, it's a little bit dead on there in terms of the engagement. And so it's not an area that I need to focus on. I want to focus on growing my YouTube. And my YouTube is growing very rapidly as of right now. And so, I want to dedicate all my energy to this, growing this and expanding this. And then that will lead to more people going to my Instagram and following my Instagram. By the way, my Instagram's at Gavin Speaks. Okay, if you want to go ahead and follow me. All right. So going back to my point, you want to make your first sale, right? Make your first sale by lowering your price or selling less. You got all these ideas, but selling, like, maybe starting off with one or two products first to see how it goes, and then figure out how you can sell more of that. All right. The 7th step to growing a spiritual-based business and becoming financially free is to make enough money passively to exceed your monthly expenses. All right. So a lot of people think financial freedom is making, I want to make $100,000 per month. That's not financial freedom. You could be making $100,000 per month and be spending $99,999. I almost lost the number there. But yeah, you can be spending that much, right? You could be spending that on stuff, on growing the brand and like all this stuff, right? That doesn't mean you're financially free. It means you made $1 in that year. All right. So you want to be careful, like, on what you're saying is financially free. All right. So financially free, true financial freedom is actually to deal with your expenses in terms of your living costs. Okay. So basically what you want to do is you want to calculate your living cost. How much does it cost for you to live every month? All right. You, the kids, everyone in your family that you're taking care of, or whatever it is, right? You want to calculate your costs, how much that costs every month. All right. So let's say it's $2,000 per month that it costs your monthly expenses, your rent or your mortgage or your food, the activities that you do, the Netflix, all of that, right? You want to calculate all of that and to know your monthly expenses. All right. And then you want to make enough money from your business passively. Okay. The key word here is passively, right? You want to make enough money in your business passively to either meet or exceed that monthly expense. All right. So passively means where you're not working for the money. For example, if you write a book, all you need to do is write the book once, right? And you put it up on Amazon, for example, and the sales are generated by itself. Like, it generates passive income where you don't have to work for the money. The money continues to come in for work you did once. All right, that's passive income. Another example of passive income is a vending machine, right? At the gym that I go to, there's several vending machines where you can buy, protein shakes and energy drinks and towels and lockers for your locker, right? Your the lock thingy. You know what I'm talking about? Padlock. That's it. All right. And so you can buy all this stuff. And so this person, whoever owns these companies, put the machine there, or they got the machine there, probably renting the space, right? They got the machine there. It sits there all the time, 24/7, without them having to do any extra work, right? People put their money in, they collect the product. And so all they have to do is replenish those machines, and they're collecting passive income without having to have a staff there or anything like that, right? The machine works by itself using technology. I even had my keys for my front door cut, when you can get a spare key, right? There was actually a machine in a store that actually done it automatically. It's just a literally machine. There was no human being cutting it for me. I put my key in the machine and it done a laser, picture of it, and then it cut out 3 keys for me, and they all worked in my door, and I couldn't believe it. It was like crazy. And so, there's things like this. And so that's what passive income is. You do work once and it pays you over and over and over again. And so let's say your expenses are $2,000 per month. If you're making $2,000 per month from your business passively, you are now financially free. I know it sounds strange because you're not making any profit, and you're making any extra money, but you're financially free because you do not have to work for money. All your expenses are completely covered by your passive income, meaning you are currently not working for money. You are free of money because that money is coming in passively. You don't have to work for it, and all your expenses are completely paid, financially free. Does that make sense? You're free from your finances, and anything you make on top of that is extra. Okay, that's true financial freedom. Financial freedom is not making a lot of money. Financial freedom could be making $1,000 per month, $2,000 per month. And so once you've made your first sale, which is step 6, you want to figure out how can you become financially free and set up something where it's automated income. You only have to work once and the money still comes in, and that's going to cover your expenses. Once your expenses are covered, anything you make on top of that, obviously you get to keep. But now you are financially free when you've achieved that goal. Okay. And so that's how you become financially free. Your expenses could be $500 per month. And as soon as you've hit $500 a month in passive income, you're financially free. All right. So it's not that hard to become financially free. Okay. You just want to look at what your expenses are. You can reduce your expenses if you want. You can get rid of the car and get a cheaper car, get a cheaper rent. Even now, me living, I make decent income from my business. I've made a lot more in the past, but I'm not considering, I am going to be moving to a country where it's a lot cheaper to live, where the living expenses are way lower. All right. So my goal was to move to Bali, but we're not sure right now because of the whole COVID and vaccines. I don't want to take a vaccine, and right now you have to take a vaccine to get into Indonesia. So I might be moving somewhere else, but I'm 100% moving to a country where it's a lot cheaper to live and it's just a better lifestyle. All right. So I get to save more money. I get to save on taxes. I get to save on all of this stuff. And it's just, easier to live, And so my business partner, Jaden, he recently moved to a different area in the UK where it's a lot cheaper to live. His rent is very, very low, but he's got a 3-bedroom place. Whereas in London, to get that kind of place, it would be a hell of a lot more money. All right. And so these are the kind of things you want to consider. Are there places in your state or in your country where you can move to where it's a lot cheaper to live, or maybe moving to another country where it's a lot cheaper to live and running a business from there? Okay. These are things you want to consider, especially if you've got a lifestyle business and all you need is your laptop. There's no stock that you're dealing with and stuff like that. You do not need to be living in your country and stressing about it and stressing about the money and all that kind of stuff. And you need to pay this rent and all of this stuff. It's much better to live in a country where the rent is low and, it's in the sun and you get to go to the beach every day. And, you can probably get a massage multiple times a week because it's so cheap to live there, and things like this. You get to eat out every day. You don't need to cook, and so places like Bali, Thailand, Mexico, Costa Rica, these kinds of places the living costs are very low in certain areas, and you get to have the lifestyle. Does that make sense? I help people build their businesses and grow their businesses, and so the first step to doing that, I know it's a little bit backwards, but the first step to finding out a little bit more about how I can help you grow your business, and if you want more insights and coaching, then get a free energy reading from me. The link will be in the description. The free alchemy energy reading and the manifestation diagnosis session will lead to you getting one of my programs or courses, which will teach you how to grow and expand your business and make it very successful if you want to do that. All right. And check out this video over here on why you're manifesting the opposite of what you want. Very interesting video. And check out this playlist, 3-part series on how to raise your vibration properly. Okay. Remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.